I never thought I'd learn the truth by accident, but that's exactly how it happened. One sentence. Said casually. Not meant for my ears. And yet, it shattered everything I believed about my marriage. My name is Daniel. I'm 38 years old. I've been married to my wife Claire for 9 years. Together for 12. And until that night, I would have told anyone who asked that we weren't perfect, but we were solid. We had our arguments, sure. Money stress. Work stress. The usual things. But I never once believed she saw me as an enemy. That illusion died the moment I heard her voice from the other room. It was late. Close to midnight. Claire had her best friend over, Amanda. They were in the kitchen, wine glasses clinking, laughter drifting down the hallway. I was in the bedroom, folding laundry, half listening, half zoned out. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop. I didn't need to. The walls were thin and Claire was talking louder than she realized. At first it was harmless. Complaints about work. Jokes about people they hated. Then Amanda said something that made me pause. So, are you actually going to leave him or is this just another phase? There was a brief silence. I remember that part clearly. Then Claire laughed. Not nervous. Not unsure. Confident. When I leave him, she said, I'll make sure he ends up with nothing. I froze. For a moment I thought I'd misunderstood. My brain scrambled to reframe it, soften it, twist it into something less ugly. But then Amanda laughed too. Damn, she said. Cold. Claire replied, I've earned it. He wouldn't survive without me anyway. My hands were shaking. I set the towel down slowly, like any sudden movement might give me away. My heart was pounding so hard I was sure they could hear it. 9 years of marriage reduced to a plan. A strategy. An exit where I wasn't just left behind, but deliberately destroyed. I stood there, staring at the wall as memories started replaying themselves in a new light. Every argument about money. Every time she insisted we keep finances flexible. Every time she rolled her eyes when I asked questions about our accounts. I had trusted her completely. I worked. I provided. I signed what she asked me to sign because I thought that's what partners did. I didn't confront her. Not that night. I finished folding the laundry like a ghost, moved quietly, and lay in bed pretending to sleep when she finally came in. She slid under the covers like nothing had happened. Kissed my shoulder. Told me she loved me. I didn't say it back. The next morning she was cheerful. Too cheerful. Making coffee, humming, asking about my day. I watched her like a stranger. The woman I thought I knew was gone, replaced by someone calculating, someone who saw me as an obstacle to step over. I started paying attention. Really paying attention. I noticed how she'd grown distant over the past year. How her phone never left her hand. How she'd suddenly become obsessed with independence and knowing her worth. Phrases that sounded empowering on the surface, but now felt like rehearsed lines. I noticed how she'd stopped asking for my opinion on anything that mattered. That night, after she fell asleep, I opened my laptop. I wasn't looking for revenge. Not yet. I was looking for understanding. For answers. I pulled up our bank statements. Something I hadn't done in months. And that's when I saw it. Small transfers at first. Then larger ones. Money moving into an account I didn't recognize. Not joint. Not mine. Hers. I felt sick. Over the next few days, I quietly gathered information. I checked documents. Old emails. Our mortgage paperwork. And with every discovery, the picture became clearer. Claire hadn't just been planning to leave. She'd been preparing. Positioning herself. Protecting her exit while making sure mine would hurt. And the worst part? I realized how easy it would have been for her to succeed. I trusted her. I never imagined I'd need to protect myself from my own wife. I thought loyalty was mutual. That love meant fairness even when things ended. I was wrong. She didn't know I knew. And that was my advantage. At dinner one night, she casually mentioned that her friend's divorce had been messy. She shook her head sympathetically and said, I just don't understand how people turn so ugly. I looked at her across the table and nodded. Yeah, I said. Me neither. She smiled at me, completely unaware that the man sitting across from her was no longer the same man she'd underestimated. I wasn't angry. Not yet. I was calm. Focused. And for the first time since hearing those words in the kitchen, I felt something solid settle in my chest. Clarity. I didn't want to destroy her. I didn't want revenge. I just didn't want to end up with nothing. And I realized something important in that moment. The most dangerous mistakes aren't made by people who leave loudly. They're made by people who assume the person they're leaving is too weak, too trusting, or too blind to notice what's really happening. She had already decided how our story would end. She just didn't know yet that I was done being a passive character in it.